I believe at the heart of board gaming is storytelling, and everyone has a story to tell. Welcome to Have a Seat with Amanda Lee, and join me each week as I introduce designers, publishers, content creators, artists, and more from the board game community. There's room for everyone at my table, so have a seat. Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Have a Seat with Amanda Lee. I am Amanda Lee Anderson, aka Empty Nest Board Mama on the gram. Today, I have a super awesome special guest. She is one of my favorite content creators in the board game community. She's beautiful and funny and so relatable. And you all know and love her. Let me introduce Carly from Board Game Buzz.
Hi! Thanks so much for having me, Amanda.
Yes,
oh my goodness, I like need
so
that little
much for
intro,
being
like
here.
starting my day. I just need to hear that intro every morning.
It's a little fun.
Sweet. Thank
I'm
you so
such
much for having me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for making time. I know you're super busy mom and content creator, always putting out new stuff. And we're going to talk a lot more about what you've got coming up because you've made some big announcements the past couple of weeks. So we'll talk about that. But first, let's get to know you. Carly, please have a seat and tell me all about yourself.
Yes, so obviously my name's Carly. I am the creator of Board Game Buzz. It's kind of funny. I feel like lots of people within the space kind of are like, yeah, I grew up playing games. I grew up playing games with my family. I didn't. We didn't really play a lot of games growing up. I really didn't get introduced into this hobby until it was only like 3 or 4 years ago. It wasn't that long.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. So it's crazy how fast you go from like not playing board games to like playing board games all day long, right?
Yes.
Like it's definitely addicting. But yeah, we went over to just a friend's house for dinner and we had dinner and they're like, do you want to sit and play a game after? And I was like, sure. Okay. Like just kind of expecting Monopoly or something, you know what I mean? And I was like, what games do you have? And they're like, oh, well, like, we'll just show you. So they brought us kind of into just this room in their house and they opened up this door and it was just this room full of board games, right? And I was like, what?
The angels were singing and the lights shone down.
The angels came down, the heavens opened, clouds filled the room. But no, I was just like literally in shock. I was like, wait, what? Like, what is this? So we went home that night and I remember I just searched up a couple of the games that they had kind of talked about or said they had liked. So I just searched it up and that's kind of where I found like Board Game Geek. And I just went down the hole, right? I just like went down the board game hole. I just became completely obsessed.
What game did you play that night?
Okay, so the very first night that we played, it was just like a little card game. I don't even remember what it was. It was just a simple card game. Oh my goodness. I feel like I can kind of picture like what the cover is, but I literally can't even remember. Because I think my brain just kept going back to the room. I was like, wait, what are all those board games? And so we went home and I just kind of started searching up. And the very first game that I bought, because I like been doing some research, right? Because I was just diving into Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
And I just remember finding like the hotness. And the game that really stood out to me was Lost Ruins of Arnak. And I was like, that just looks so cool. I love like the Indiana Jones vibe. I was like, I need it.
Yeah.
That was the very first game that I bought, kind of like, within the hobby and within the space.
Yeah.
And so I got it and I sat down and taught myself the game, like front to cover. It took me like a week to learn the game. But I did. I taught myself. I learned it. I played a solo game of it. And that's just, it hooked me, that game. And so ever since then, that's been like, that's what I consider my favorite game. I love Lost Ruins of Arnak. I assume one day it'll get bumped out. But for the last little bit, it's been my favorite game of all time because it brought me into the hobby. It's just iconic. I love the game.
Top shelf, definitely not yard sale, right?
Oh, yes, definitely top shelf. No yard selling that. No, definitely top shelf.
Shout out to Vic. I actually just recorded with him as well.
Oh, did you? He's
I
so
can't tell you
great.
what game we talked about, but it should be coming out pretty soon.
Oh, I'm
And
so excited to listen to it. He's
yes,
so
we
great.
had so much fun together. Yeah,
That's
we
so
definitely
fun.
we talked about you afterwards because I spilled the beans. I was like, I've got somebody really exciting coming on. It's my first content creator. And I was like, you know her.
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I'm just, I'm so honored to be here. It's so fun.
Yeah. So was your friend that introduced you to the hobby, was that Kim?
No, so this
Okay.
was actually before we moved down to Connecticut. So this is when we
Okay.
still lived up in Maine. And so we were living in Maine at the time, and we just kind of had this friend kind of for a little bit where we would go over and kind of play games. But we kind of started doing that basically kind of right before we ended up moving down to Connecticut. So we didn't actually get to play like as many games as we would like. We kind of played with our best friends. We kind of brought them into the hobby too. So after this one family kind of introduced us to games, then that's when I started kind of like purchasing and kind of getting further into the hobby. And then we would invite our best friends over, and we kind of sucked them into the hobby as well. So we would do actually game nights pretty frequently with them. But then we moved down to Connecticut. And so obviously that move, we like lost a lot. We lost everything, right? We lost our gaming group. We lost so much about it. And it was so heartbreaking for me. The move was really hard. And that was actually probably like the big driving factor behind creating Board Game Buzz, was because it's like, okay, I want to be able to connect with this hobby. So like in Maine, it was connecting with our friends, right? But I was like, I want to still connect with this hobby. I want to, I don't know. I just kind of want to put my different spin on stuff. And I don't want to feel completely disconnected from games, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of when like creating Board Game Buzz, like the wheels kind of started turning. It was like, okay, like, what if I made a page and I could talk about board games and stuff? So that's kind of like what was the drive, honestly, behind creating Board Game was that move and kind of losing that, I don't know, the constant kind of access to gaming, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay. So what else? Tell me a little bit more about yourself. Obviously, we know you're a mom.
Yes, mom, 3 amazing kids. Love them so much.
Your daughter's so funny. I love your content when you go to get those recommendations in this. Is it Barnes and Noble where you guys are hanging out?
I know. She's
adorable.
She is hilarious. And she has been that way her entire life. Like ever since she was born, she has just had that fiery personality. She's just so fun. But no, the kids love all the board game stuff too. We actually just played Chronologic. We've been loving that one lately. But yeah, I'm trying to think more about myself. I'm like, I'm board game.
Yeah. I mean, it really becomes so much, I think, of our personalities, because it's like, it's a rabbit hole.
It is. It's like all encompassing, right? It's all encompassing. But no,
you're like, oh, have you played this? No, I've got to research it. Now I've got to look it up. Now I got to figure out how to find it and play it. Is it on BGA? Like, tell me all the things.
Exactly. And I feel like our primary goal as gamers is just to further entrench other people in the hobby. Right?
Oh yeah.
So that's all we talk about. That's all we do. But no, so we live in Connecticut now. I said we've moved a lot. I grew up primarily on the West Coast, but moved around, and now we're on the East Coast. Moved around a lot. So yeah, lots of moving. Hopefully the moving stops one day. I'm trying to think what else. In regards to like other hobbies that I have, I love traveling. That's something that we really love to do. We don't get to do it super often, but when we do, I love traveling. And experiencing different cultures and meeting new people. I just think that's just so much fun.
I got to go on my bucket list trip this summer or last summer to Greece.
To Greece, I know. Well, so that normally was the only reason why we were able to go on that trip was because Jordan, Jordan is a clothing designer, and his company did like a company-wide March Madness bracket, and whoever won got 2 tickets to anywhere in the world.
Wow.
So Jordan won. And so we got at least the tickets paid for, and we did the rest of the trip really cheap. Like we were just doing really cheap, like Airbnbs and everything.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason why we were able to do it, but it was awesome. It was so great that we were able to go do that.
Well, if you ever need a Florida vacation, I have
my God.
3 spare bedrooms, plenty of. We're 15 minutes from the beach.
Literally, we were like literally talking about planning a Florida trip not too long ago. So I'll hit you up.
Pensacola, Orange Beach, it's all in the area. Destin, Taylor Swift's favorite place.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, well, I haven't been to Florida in a long time, and we've been wanting to do a trip down there. So I'll have to let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's actually pretty cheap flight tickets from Connecticut to Florida.
There's the airport's like 10 minutes from my house, Pensacola Airport.
So we can make it work. We can make it work.
And we've got plenty of stuff to do. So
plenty of games. I know your shelves are beautiful behind you, by the way. What do you like? What's your favorite game? I don't think I've asked you that yet.
My favorite game is Flamecraft.
Oh,
I am
Flamecraft.
So addicted to the artwork. Sandara Tang, just like, oh, she sucked me in, and it's punny and it's adorable. It's easy to teach, easy to learn. I love it so much. And it's so many people hate on Flamecraft, and I'm like, they're like, it's only cute art. It's not a good game. And I was like,
no, it is a really charming game. Are you excited for the duels one?
Yes. Okay. Yes, I've seen it, and I'm in like the VIP, and I'm like, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. I'm so excited.
I know. It looks really good. I'm excited for it. And you do have Critter Kitchen, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. I just got it. What was it? Saturday. And I sat down and I sat at the table and just like I couldn't even open the box. I was and then I opened the box and it was like that.
And I know the sparkles start shining. It is so much bigger than I was anticipating. It's huge.
Yes.
And then you start unboxing it.
I sat here for probably, I just sat the 2.5, 3 hours, and I did everything, unbox it, because I got the deluxe, and I had all the things, and each one has its little spot, and I'm looking at the handout, and I'm like, which one is where that one goes? It looks like he's got a tail.
I know. I had to follow a YouTube video because the sheet was like, it was too tiny, or like stuff was too condensed. You couldn't tell where stuff was going. So, but I'm really excited to hear your thoughts once you play it and how it compares to Flamecraft. Like, I want you to do like a little comparison.
I definitely will.
So,
yeah. So what have you been playing lately? I know you played Critter Kitchen. You said you played like a half game, didn't kind of get all the way through with the kids, but
yes, I really liked the gameplay though. Like, I think it's actually going to be a game that plays fantastic, like at the higher player count.
Okay.
I just love this. I've just been like on a simultaneous action like kick lately. Just like, if the game has simultaneous action, like totally sign me up. So it looks beautiful on the table. I love what you're doing. Like, I love the theme, just like going out and collecting little ingredients and trying to make your plates. And I don't know, I just think it's going to be a really fantastic game. So I'm really excited. Hopefully I can actually bring it over to Kim's tomorrow and play a game of it tomorrow night. That's kind of what I'm hoping. But yes, we played Critter Kitchen, but we've been pumping out so many games of Chronologic lately.
Okay.
I am obsessed with that game.
Yay.
If you like deduction games, like, you need to look into it. It's fantastic. And I know they're coming out with 2 more kind of different ones, but similar like game style. So I'm really excited to see what those come out with. But yeah, that's probably like honestly one of my favorite deduction games I've ever played. It's like Clue, but on steroids, and it just works really well with my brain. So I really love that one. I'm trying to think of other ones we've been playing a lot. I've been playing so many games. Fromage. I've been playing so many games of Fromage.
I've only played it on BGA, but I love it.
I love it. Again, the simultaneous action.
I'm originally from Wisconsin, so the cheese head in me
perfect
just loves fromage. Have you played Creature Caravan?
No, isn't that
That's
the one that you?
simultaneous.
Okay, yeah. See, I haven't played that one, but I've been wanting to play that one for a while. Do you have? Yeah, you've been playing it, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually did a demo of it at my local game store on
That's what it was.
Saturday.
I was like,
Yep.
no, you would talk to me about it somehow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's super fun and it's simultaneous action as well. So that one, the simultaneous, play I almost didn't like it just because I was like, we're
Oh,
all playing our own game here. Like it was
yeah.
quiet and I was just like, if I wanted to play by myself, I'd play by myself. But
That is the risk with simultaneous action.
yeah,
Is if a game is
yeah.
like, it can feel very multiplayer solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. And that one really does. So we halfway through my teach, I was like, let's talk about it. I would say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going here. I'm moving this guy. I'm playing this card. And I think it it didn't make it longer. It made it more enjoyable just because otherwise
Really? Okay.
you're moving along this, everybody's moving along this track and you're building your caravan of creatures, but it's like you literally have no idea what anybody else is doing or why they're doing it or so that
I'm really glad you said that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look into it then.
Yeah.
A little more, but I know like the moment it was announced, I was like so interested.
The
in it.
art though is
I know.
phenomenal.
That Ryan Lockett art.
Yep. This little like turtle guy right here, that's what sold me on it. I'm like, he's the coolest. He's my best friend. I want to go wherever he's going.
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, I'll have to do a little more research into the game, but I said I still want to play it. So
yeah, absolutely, definitely try it and tell me. Then I'll see what you think of it. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So so we've talked about what we've been playing. So let's talk about Board Game Buzzz and all the announcements you've been making lately. We're doing some changes. Yesterday was your first little Sunday live. Yes. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so that's something new that I'm starting is, again, kind of coming back to why I started Board Game Buzzz. The whole purpose was I just wanted to connect, right, with this hobby, connect with fellow people who are equally obsessed with board games as me. And so, yeah, coming back into live streaming, that's something that I've always wanted to do. But I've always wanted to do it on YouTube, and I just don't really have the bandwidth to figure that out right now. So I was like, you know what? Let's just still do it, and we'll just do it on Instagram because I can Instagram live pretty easy. Yeah. So that's something that I'm just going to be starting is every Sunday. The time's going to kind of fluctuate, just depends on the day, but I'll announce on my stories every Sunday morning what time the live will be that day. And yeah, I'll just go live, and it can be a variety of different things. It can be question and answer. It can just be talking about the games that I played that week or unboxing new games. So yeah, just kind of, again, just a way to further connect with the hobby, connect with other people. So that's kind of something new that's coming to Board Game Buzzz. And then the Honeycomb Club, which is kind of like it's like the book and game club of Board Game Buzzz, has kind of had a huge overhaul too. So I basically kind of went through, I changed the logo, I changed the graphics of a lot of stuff. But the biggest thing that I'm changing is that every single game from here on out that I pick for the Honeycomb Club is going to be a game that's available on BGA. Just to kind of help make it more available for people. Right?
I love that. Okay.
So every game will be on BGA, and then I also started a Discord, Honeycomb Club Discord channel. And so on the Discord channel, it's going to be easier to kind of set up games with people. You can, put out who wants to play, the game with me, or does anybody want to start off the games or stuff. So again, just kind of making that inclusion a little bit better and kind of just making it more approachable for people.
Yeah,
so
awesome. What is the book and game of March? Has it been announced yet?
It has, yes. So it's actually super cool. So Board and Shield, which is another amazing content creator, he actually took over the channel. So this is another new thing that we're doing is every handful of months, other fellow content creators are going to be taking over the Honeycomb Club. Okay. And so this one was so sweet. He took over for March, right? It's March?
Yes.
It's March. My brain is totally gone. And so he is doing like a whole Viking theme this month. So the game is Blood Rage, and then the book is Shadow of the Gods. Okay. So that's kind of what's happening this month at the Honeycomb Club. And like I said, I have a handful of other content creators set up to kind of also do takeovers. You're welcome to do a takeover if you want to do one. We'd love to have you, Amanda.
I'll definitely I'll think of something. What can I pair with Flamecraft? Oh no, it's not on BGA.
Oh, darn, I know. That's the thing now. Now we have to pair on the games that are available on BGA. But yeah, so I just think it's a fun kind of little addition, you know. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you can follow along with the book, or you can follow along with the game, or you can follow along with both. Like I know somebody private messaged me just saying how excited they were for this club, because he said, my wife is super into reading and I'm super into games. So she is going to be reading the book for the month while I'm playing the game.
I love that.
Yeah, and I just like, that's so fun, you know, because you guys still kind of doing something together, even though you're kind of doing your two separate hobbies. It's still together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there is, I think, a lot of crossover with nerdy girls who like to read and play board games.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, guys too, not girls.
Exactly.
But yes, we're all inclusive.
Yes.
Do you have a set schedule that you put content out on YouTube, or other than now that you have just your Sunday Live?
When I make it, it comes out.
Nice.
YouTube is what I struggle the most with, because it just takes so much time. Like, any YouTube video gives, it's usually around 20 plus hours for every single video that comes out. That's how many hours I'm putting into it. So it just takes a lot of time. My Instagram channel, like, I can pump out content so fast. The YouTube channel's harder. So basically, whenever I'm done with a video, I usually will post it the following day. So I actually have a gameplay video coming up tomorrow of, this is another game I've been playing lately, Moon Colony Bloodbath. It's so good. Okay.
Wow.
I've been talking about this game forever.
I've been seeing that a lot lately.
It's so good. Yeah. So I actually have a playthrough video that's going up tomorrow on the channel that me and Kim did of that one. So yeah, so that's kind of how YouTube operates. I try to stay on top of it. I try to do at least one a week. Sometimes it's like a handful a week. Sometimes I go a couple weeks without doing a video. It's very sporadic. It's something I need to be better at, is my YouTube channel.
Well, your production value is awesome. Do you have a background in?
No, it's just my home.
Well, no, I mean like a background in like videography.
No, I don't.
You could be a professional like TV reporter. You're so poised and professional, and everything comes out so just like really well produced. You're just a one-man show. Are you doing everything?
You are so sweet. Yes, I do everything.
Just all self-taught.
Yeah, it's been a huge learning curve. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, when I get an idea in my head, it's so hard for me to let it go. And so for me, from the very beginning, I had a very clear idea of how I wanted my channel to look, how I wanted to present it. I feel like I was consuming a ton of board game content up until this point. And I felt like I saw gaps in certain areas. And I was like, I feel like I could do that better. Or I feel like I could improve on this. Or I could do this different that people haven't seen before. Yeah. And so that's kind of been my vision for this channel, is I like making things bright. I like making things happy. I like, I don't know, just kind of putting, like, I guess I was a little bit of a photographer. It's very, very amateur photographer a handful of years ago. But I feel like I've always kind of had a good eye for things that look good, or angles or stuff. So maybe that kind of comes through a little bit, but honestly, it's a whole lot of trial and error and just sticking to it. If you go back, and not even saying I've improved that much, but if you go back and look at my first YouTube videos versus now, they look a lot better now. And hopefully they'll just continue to get better as I learn more and more about
the production value is amazing
in general. Thank you.
You're definitely goals. Mine is just like so I just turned 42 yesterday. It was my birthday.
Oh my God! Happy birthday! Why did you not tell me this? Happy birthday, Amanda.
So I'm like, sometimes I feel like, so I have a daughter who's in college, and sometimes I feel like I'm already that mom that's like doesn't know how to work the game.
You know what? Honestly, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'd be happy to help you. But honestly, there's lots of stuff that I don't know, and I have to literally turn like online and I'm like researching all night to try to find my answer. So lots of it's just trial and error, but from like my perspective, I always think all of your stuff looks amazing and great. Stop. So we're always our harshest critics, yes, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm always very harsh on my stuff.
Like I said in the beginning, I'm like, it's like 3 seconds too long. I don't know how to stop.
No, it's perfect. It's a great intro.
Thank you. Canva. Hey.
I know. What would we do without Canva? Honestly,
seriously.
I have no idea.
Seriously.
So
is there anything else that you want to talk about? Anything else I can cheer you on?
Oh my goodness, you're so sweet. No, I mean, you've already hyped me up so much. I feel like I'm on cloud 9 now. No, I think we're, like I said, I think that's all the fun stuff that we're up to. I do want to give a shout out, obviously, to Kim.
Yes.
Kim, she's an amazing co-host. And she tries to kind of do behind the scenes stuff every once in a while on her little channel on Beehive Banter. But she has a lot of different channels. Like she makes earrings. She's like has her own like little book club thing going on. She's like amazing. So go follow her on all of her channels.
I gotta find her earrings. You're gonna have to give me what's the link there.
So her earrings are it's Happy Kimmy. I think that's just her Instagram
with
page.
A Y or IE.
So I think it's a Y. Now I'm like terrible. I think it's
I'm gonna find it. We'll put it in the link.
Yeah. We'll put it in the link below.
I got boring earrings, but I love fun earrings. So mine are just black today.
Just looking at those look like something like all of her earrings, she makes all of them. And they're all crazy, cool, one of a kind.
I had no idea.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's another rabbit hole for me is fun earrings.
Then you might not want to check out her page because you'll dive deep into the rabbit hole.
No, I'm in. So in. So you met Kim just when you moved?
Here, yeah. So when we moved, we just were able to connect. We would go to the same church, and so we were just able to connect that way. We started talking about board games, and I was like, "Hey, I have a board game channel." And I actually think it was Apiary. That was the first game that she had. We kind of like learned together, and we were done learning it. I was like, you know what, like. I'm going to do a review on this. I feel like it would be better if you were there to share your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. And she was like, oh, nervous. But yeah, that's just kind of like where it started. And now she's just, the best.
So, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you guys live super close?
We're about 20 minutes away.
Oh, okay. Not bad.
As close as I'd like to, but definitely still reasonable.
Not next door.
Not next door.
Which would be awesome.
That would be nice. But
awesome. Yeah, 20 minutes isn't bad. So we've got Instagram is a great way to connect with you, and YouTube. We do all sorts of video content from reviews, previews. Instagram's got a lot of funny short reels. You can find great recommendations from your daughter.
Oh, the best. The best recommendations from Addie.
Yes. So I just want to thank you so much for your time. I know you're crazy busy, especially when you're putting in 20 hours for one YouTube video. But
it's okay. I'm so happy to do it. But
yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Carly, and check her out at Board Game Buzzz.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for having me. You are the best.
Okay. And so I also I always do outro